Hello everyone, I'm Bebe. Last video we learned what ontology is. Today we actually built one and I'll show you the real code from Palantir's official docs. We're continuing the airline example. Let's go. Building an ontology starts with a question. What real-world entities exist in your business? For our airline, we have 5 key entities. Each one becomes an object type. Aircraft maps to the aircraft master dataset. Flight maps to flight schedules and flight status datasets. Note that one object type can map to multiple datasets. Passenger maps to passenger records. Mechanic maps to staff directory. Filter to maintenance role. Maintenance task maps to maintenance work orders. You create object types in the Ontology Manager, Palantir's low-code tool for building ontologies. You select your backing dataset, choose which column is the primary key, and give it a human-readable display name. The key design principle from the docs is think about the entities and events in your organization. Don't model your database schema, model your business reality. Once you have an object type, you map its columns to properties. For aircraft, the tailnum column becomes a property called tailnumber, type string, marked as the title property, which is what shows up when you search for this object. Aircraft model becomes model. Total flight hours becomes total flight hours, type double. Last mint date becomes last maintenance date, type date time, etc. For properties that repeat across object types like created at or last updated, use shared properties. You define the property once, then apply it to aircraft, flight, maintenance task, and any future object types. The docs emphasize this. Shared properties keep your ontology consistent as it grows. Links define how objects relate. In the Ontology Manager, you specify 2 object types and the relationship between them. Aircraft to flight is one-to-many. One aircraft operates many flights. Flight to passenger is many-to-many. A flight has many passengers and a passenger takes many flights. Aircraft to maintenance task is one-to-many. Mechanic to maintenance task is many-to-many, etc. Each link also has a reverse name. Aircraft operates flight. Flight is operated by aircraft. Once defined, these links work everywhere. You click on aircraft N1234 in Object Explorer and instantly see all its flights, all its maintenance tasks, and all assigned mechanics. This is where the ontology becomes operational. An action type packages a set of changes into one governed operation. Let's build ground aircraft. Parameters: the user selects an aircraft object and enters a reason. Rules are what happens when the action runs. Rule 1. Modify an object. Set aircraft.status to grounded. Rule 2. Create object. Create a new maintenance task with the reason, timestamp, and a link to its aircraft. Side effects: send a notification to the maintenance team channel and trigger a webhook to update the external scheduling system. Submission criteria: only users with the fleet manager role can execute this action. The docs also mention the action log. Every action execution is recorded with who did it, when, what changed, and what parameters were used. This is what Palantir means by capturing decisions as data. You can also build function-backed actions for complex logic, which brings us to the code. Functions are where you write real business logic. The docs support TypeScript and Python. Let me show you both. Here's a real example from the docs. This TypeScript function queries aircraft objects. What's happening here, we import the aircraft object type directly from the ontology API. We search, filter, count. The ontology is your data layer. Then write back to the ontology and edit function. This is how you modify objects programmatically. The edits decorator tells the system which object types will be modified. The ontology edit function decorator means this function must be wrapped in an action to actually execute. You can't accidentally modify production data. And here's the Python equivalent. Same logic, different language. Both are first-class citizens in the platform. The Ontology SDK lets you build external applications backed by the ontology. Generate a typed SDK from the developer console, then query it. This is type safe. Your IDE knows every property of aircraft because the SDK was generated from your ontology. If someone adds a new property in Foundry, you regenerate the SDK, and your code updates automatically. TypeScript, Python, Java, and OpenAPI are all supported. To recap, building an ontology is 6 steps. Define object types, configure properties, define links, create action types, write functions for business logic, and optionally use the OSDK to build external apps. The key takeaway, ontology is code-friendly. You can go low-code with Ontology Manager or pro-code with functions and the OSDK. Both paths lead to the same governed semantic layer. In the next video, we'll compare ontology to data warehouse, knowledge graphs, and ORMs. See you there.